Hey everybody, happy Monday. Bobby here. Popping in here because I wanted to talk a little bit more, continue to have a conversation about what's going on, what we're facing with the coronavirus. Obviously, things are changing, things are continuing to accelerate, and we're seeing it more and more and more. And candidly, I'll be honest with you, I saw this kind of coming in some sense, but last Monday when I was in court, if you would have told me that by today we would have, mass closures statewide of bars and restaurants, I wouldn't have believed it. But I wanted to come in here as a follow up to the live I did last week. And what I wanted to talk about is maybe to help with a mindset shift and help you think through something, because you've probably heard me say a lot of things like I'll say, focus on the 20% work, not the 80% that doesn't matter. Well, there's a broader principle that I want to talk about today. And that is the concept that we should focus on the things we can actually control and ignore the rest. Now, there's this famous prayer called the Serenity Prayer. Some people know it as the Alcoholics Anonymous prayer, but it goes something like this: Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom always to know the difference. Now, take it out of a prayer if that's something that would bother you. The point of it is that too many people spend way too much time worrying about, dealing with trying to change things we can't change. And if you do that, it's going to drive you nuts. And that's in the best of times. Well, right now is not the best of times. And so right now, if you're thinking about all the things that are out there in the world that you have no control over, you're just going to be a wreck. There are so many things we don't control. We don't control when the scientists are going to be able to find a vaccine or find a cure, or, when, the government is going to do certain things. Is the government going to do certain things? Are tests going to be available? We can't control any of that. And so spending a lot of time worrying about it, thinking about it, freaking out about it isn't going to help you. It's going to actually set you back. It's going to take mental bandwidth. It's going to stop you from doing the things that you actually could do. And the problem is when you spend your time focusing on worrying about all of those things, what happens is you end up in a place of fear. And there's this, I was actually walking through this with my group coaching folks. I think it was last week, that kind of when in messaging that we do in our business, and this isn't a messaging lesson, but you can break down different kinds of messaging between things that people want, things that people don't want, but also based on whether it's immediate, something they're experiencing right now, or something they're worried about will happen in the future. And what I want to tell you is that if you're operating out of a place of fear, you're operating probably not out of something you're currently experiencing. You're operating out of a series of what ifs. And here's the thing I'm going to tell you that you might not want to hear, but it's the God's honest truth right now. You don't control most of those what ifs. Now, you can control things like what you do. Like, if you look at my personal profile, I've put a frame on that with a word I'm not going to use here, but basically stay home. Do social distancing. Those are things you can control. And those are the things that will help everybody, not just you. But those are the kinds of things you can control in your own life about the virus, about the risk, etc. But worrying about, are we going to have, 1% mortality rate, or 5% or 7% or 3%? You have zero control over that. And if you're worrying about that, you're not doing the things you ought to do. So that's kind of a general concept that I want to talk about. But now I want to get more specific. And I want to talk about what you should be doing in your business. Now, there's a lot of things you can't control. You can't control if, for example, you plan to, maybe do a webinar, and literally the day you're going to do a webinar, everything goes to hell. You can't control that. but you can control other things. You can make decisions about your business. You can decide to do nothing, to curl up, go in a hole, or to keep on keeping on. And the only way I know how to proceed is to keep on keeping on. And not just keep on keeping on, but to do it in an authentic way that is true to me, that is true to who I am, that is true to my message, that is all of those things. And what I will tell you is, I have not yet gotten one person who responded to anything I've done saying, you're a son of a you know what for, doing this. And I'm trying to inject humor in a lot of what I'm doing because that's what I do, because that's who I am. And if I stopped trying to be to kind of be funny, to make fun of myself, to maybe make you smile and make you laugh, and was instead just focused on this sucks and the world's in a horrible place, I wouldn't be serving you, because you don't need that voice right now. Maybe right now you decide, hey, I don't need Bobby's humor right now, and that's okay. But it's really the only thing I've got to give. And so I'm going to keep giving that. And what I will tell you is that this is a time that your audience, that the world, whoever it is you serve, needs you more than ever. And you need to find ways to say, is there a way that I can serve, that I can do that? And I want to be clear here. There's nothing wrong with selling, but I'm not exclusively talking about selling. I'm not saying, ooh, are you someone who needs to rush out a product because you could sell it because of the situation? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is to do something like my friend Tyler McCall did, where he has put together this series of video, kind of interviews. I'm going to talk to him on Friday with a couple of other lawyers to talk about, helping businesses navigate this situation. And so, that's something that I can do, that I can participate, that he is finding a way to serve that isn't about sales. It's not about that. And again, I want to encourage you to do the same thing. And one of the things that we're actually in, kind of internally in my business and my team, we were on a call today and we were talking about this because people who know me know that one of my core beliefs is what I call radical giving, or be a radical giver. It's not about giving as a tactic. It's about being a radical giver. And, one of my friends in the space who's in my group coaching program, Melanie, she posted something in another group, talking about how I had given like almost 2 years ago now to the day, about a month off, and how that, everybody needed to kind of do that now. And it made me think, and it got my team and I to start having a conversation. And so we're trying to come up with ways that we can help my community serve itself. In other words, I know there are a lot of people in my community who could help people with all kinds of things that they need right now. I've got people in my community who could help, parents like me who suddenly, I'm going to have my kid at home probably all day, every day for the next 8 weeks. I've got people in my community who help people with fitness and could probably help other people in the community with, hey, how do you stay in shape? What can you do now that you can't go to the gym, and things like that? So there's all of those things that I'm going to try to do aside from the business. I'm going to try to get my community to come together and help each other. Now, there will be some business stuff, for example. I know there are people in my community who help people with design and branding, and maybe they can offer some tips for people who maybe weren't quite ready yet, but now they're like, "Ooh, man, I really need to get my business going." So maybe they can help with that. So we're going to try to come up with the best way that we can help all of you serve each other. I'm getting nothing out of it other than seeing that you are served. And that's what I want to do, because I want to see everybody here, help the people that they can help, and just help us kind of get through this. And look, we will get through this. I don't know what things are going to look like, but I want to be very clear to you. We're going to be in this situation. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, this is not a couple of days, a couple of weeks. We're talking months. We're going to be sitting here and we're going to be dealing with this social distancing. And so we are going to need to come together. And we, online entrepreneurs, those of us in the online space, we are positioned to help people with all kinds of things, with serving, with doing all of these things, because it's what we do already. And so we need to keep doing that. And so I'm going to encourage every one of you, all of my followers, to do that, to find ways that you can give, that you can serve, that you can do those things in the coming days. But besides that, I want to tell you, keep on keeping on building your business. I talked about this last week because we have a webinar coming up webinars coming up in 2 days. And, some people might have been like, whoa, should you just cancel those? No. You know why I'm not going to cancel them? Because what the hell else am I going to do? I mean, that's part of it. But more importantly, like I said, it's not like I can delay it by a week or 2 weeks or even a month. I mean, if I don't do this now out of fear, out of this is a bad situation, when am I going to do it? So I think we need to adjust to this being the new normal. And that means, if you have a service, if you were planning a launch, if you were planning, to start serving people in a certain way, to start selling something, keep going. Keep with your plans. Now, obviously, we're kind of different right now. So I would be careful about spending a bunch of money on ads until you've tested and seen what's happening, because who knows what's going on right now. We don't know what's going to happen. But that's not an excuse to shrink away and do nothing. Instead, I'm going to encourage you to keep going, to keep offering what you can offer, to keep doing what you can do. And that is going to be the best thing you can do for this world. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. The brick and mortar businesses are going to be struggling. And in some ways, we online business people need to pick up the slack. And we need to pick up the slack, because if we do that, if it's then you can give to charity, or then you can help the, other people. You can buy the gift cards for those businesses who can't sell anything right now. You can do all of those things, but you can only do it if you have money, if you're building your business. So we should take this. Again, this is one of those things that I think a lot of people maybe feel like, selling right now is kind of, maybe it's kind of sleazy. It's not. Building your business and doing those things right now is one of the greatest services you can do to this country, to this world, etc. Because the world cannot stop. If the economy stops, full stop, and no one's doing anything, we're screwed. So again, my call to action to you, keep on keeping on, keep building your business, keep doing the things you can do, and your business will thank you. The world will be better because you did it. Because you helped people build the business of their dreams. You help people. Maybe it's, for Ellen, who's one of my group coaching students or coaching members, and she teaches people needlepoint or needlework. I'm going to get that wrong, but it's something that people who are cooped up at home right now could probably use, that joy. So she can give joy to people, but also keep the economy going. I help people with email. I help people with those things. So that's why I'm going on with my webinars on Wednesday, to help people, master email marketing. It's what I can do right now. And so I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm not going to shy away, and I'm not going to shirk the responsibility. And you shouldn't either. So call to action to you today is, focus on the things you can control, both in the personal of how you're protecting yourself, how you're protecting your family. Don't, go down the rabbit, trails of fear, of the unknown, of the things you can't control. And in your business, the same thing. You can't control what the economy is going to be in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months, but you can control what you do. You can control that you're building your business. You can control that you're taking the steps. You can control that you're serving your people. And so I encourage you to do that. So that's what I had to say today. Again, I'm not going to make a hard pitch, but I am going to tell you because, again, I'm going to lead here. If you want to attend my webinar, which is all about email marketing and how to get better at writing emails that your people will ask you to send them, which again, let's be honest, if we're cloistered in our homes right now, it's a pretty darn important skill to have. I would love for you to join me. I would love for you to jump on and come with me. And, again, proving I wasn't really prepared. I'm going to pull the link here, but probably someone will drop it in. You can sign up by heading to bobbyklink.com/email marketing mastery. Again, bobbyklink.com/email marketing mastery. I'd love to have you join me. I'd love for you to, see what I'm talking about. And if nothing else, you can get some really great pointers, some tips on how you can improve your email writing, which again, like I said, pretty darn important right now. So again, join me in the webinar if you want to, but more importantly, keep building your business, keep doing the things you can do to serve your community, to serve your people, and to push things forward. That's it for now. I'll talk to you later.